Today we're talking about what homeowners need to know about flood zones and flood insurance here on Jackson Lake in Georgia. So if you're a homeowner or property owner here in Jackson Lake area, this video is for you. Hi, I'm Chris, flood insurance guru. More than 12 years ago, I bought a house in a flood zone just like this right here and had a terrible situation happen. And that's why I've been helping Jackson, Georgia homeowners like yourself with these flood insurance and these flood zone problems the last 12 years. So today we're talking about what you need to know as a homeowner here in the area when it comes to flood zones and flood insurance. First of all, let's briefly talk about flood zones. When is flood insurance going to be required in the Jackson Lake, Georgia area? If you have a mortgage and you live in what's called a high-risk flood zone, this is a flood zone A or AE here in Georgia, then this is typically when mortgage companies are going to require flood insurance. How much are they going to require? Typically, they're going to require the max amount of $250,000 that the federal government offers, or your loan amount, whichever one's less. However, you want to be cautious on taking out just a loan amount, because this can turn your policy to an actual cash and value policy here in Jackson Lake, Georgia. This means you may only get 40, 50, or 60% of what the policy is actually worth, which means it may not even pay off your loan, and you could have to take out an SBA disaster loan to pay off the difference. We see it happen all the time. This is why you want to pick replacement costs when setting up your flood insurance here on the lake. Now, if you live in a low-risk area like Flood Zone X where a bank's not requiring it, well, having flood insurance is still going to give you financial protection here, even though your bank's not requiring it. Now, during Hurricane Debbie, almost 75% of people who had structural damage from flooding in Georgia did not have flood insurance because their banks did not require it. So you want to remember that we're living here in the Jackson, Georgia area. Just from looking at these images from the recent flooding here on the lake, you can see these lake properties can flood. Now let's briefly talk about understanding flood insurance as a homeowner here in the area. You need to understand you have multiple options. But before we get into those options, let's remember that typically your home insurance policy on the lake does not cover flood damage. 99% of the time. There's a rarity where they will add what's called an endorsement. But in Georgia, that's pretty rare. Now let's briefly talk about what are the flood insurance options for your home here on Jackson Lake. Look, you've got the National Flood Insurance Program and you've got private flood insurance. No matter where you go, pricing should be the same with the National Flood Insurance Program here on the lake. But if you have private flood insurance, that may range from $400 to $4,000. So it's important to understand that here in the lake. So this video has been about what homeowners need to know about flood zones and flood insurance. If you want to know more about the Jackson Lake area when it comes to diving deeper in your flood insurance options, click up here in the corner of this video. You can also click in the description of this video to find your flood risk here on the lake. I'm Chris, the flood insurance guru, and I want to say thank you for watching today's video.